Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Starcraft for All, My Base Fusion Zerg Core. Chapter 81. It would take about 28 days for 1 million dragon-armored warriors to build 100 million square kilometers of stellar film collection. At the same time, Earth-class battleships have brought back 5 suitable asteroids, and the construction of a new generation of battle-star fortresses has also begun. New energy cannon, the attack power can reach 300% of the original. Close black lens bracket. New energy shield generator, defense increased by 500%. Close black lens bracket. The energy cannon has the ability to directly destroy the triangular battleship of the alien civilization, and the protective cover can withstand the attack of the alien civilization battleship. Close black lens bracket. The core obtained this result through the data collected previously. After technology has developed to level 3, it has become increasingly difficult to improve. It may take hundreds or thousands of years to develop some technology and put it into use. Therefore, there is a high probability that the technological level of alien civilization is not much different from what we have seen before. 450. The data collected by the core is valid, but all this will not be known until the alien civilization arrives. The advance ahead was smooth. The defense line of Yashan civilization retreated again and again, retreating faster and faster. Although the Yashan civilization's territory was huge and very deep, after 70 days, Zhou Quan still invaded its hinterland. At this time, in Zhou Quan's army, there are still 5 complete battle-star fortresses and 70,000 Earth-class battleships. However, the Yashan civilization has less than 3 million warships left, and tens of millions of them have been destroyed on the road. The route was densely packed with warship fragments, which turned into fragments in the cold universe, scattered everywhere under the influence of the initial force. This will continue until it is captured by the gravity of a certain planet, and eventually it will either fly around the planet's orbit forever, or turn into a meteorite. It may eventually hit the planet and cause a catastrophe. It may also burn up in the atmosphere. However, degenerate materials will not be burned. Its high mass, even a small piece, will cause disaster on the planet. Yashan civilization has been forced into a desperate situation. In the end, there were less than 3 million warships, guarding their home planet. Zhou Quan said that the Chinese civilization's army had arrived outside the planet. The army stayed outside the range and did not take direct action. All people in the Yashan civilization know that fighting to the death is useless. Although it is useless, we must fight. The Yashan civilization had already given up its will to die, and they ultimately failed to wait for reinforcements from the alien civilization. Yashan civilization, let go of your database, otherwise your home planet will be destroyed and your civilization will be wiped out. The will of the core conveys the past. Its voice fell into the ears of Yashan civilization, as harsh as a devil. Yashan civilization hesitated for a long time and still could not give an answer. The core seemed to be a little impatient, and once again conveyed the message, I will give you one last chance and give me the answer within 10 seconds. 10, 9. Finally, Yashan civilization gave the answer, if we let go of the database, can you let us go? You have no bargaining information. Even if you don't agree, I still have a way to obtain your database. It's just that I don't want to cause trouble. Now, tell me the answer. Now, right now. The core words are full of threats. Yashan civilization is currently a loser and has no right to choose. In the end, they still chose to believe what the core said. I hope you will keep your word. The database is released, and a large number of databases are acquired by the core. The data of Yashan civilization is much more detailed than that of the Patroller civilization, which greatly enriches the core database content. In the data of Yashan civilization, there are detailed definitions of second-level civilization and third-level civilization. Level 3 civilization has several iconic technologies. The first is energy cannon and energy shield. These two technologies are possessed by all main-level civilizations. Open black lens bracket. Then there is energy technology. Elementary level 3 civilizations can utilize nuclear fusion energy to the limit. Powerful energy can enhance the power system, weapon system, and defense system in all aspects. Among them, the power system can enable the warship speed to exceed the limit of 10,000 kilometers. 10,000 kilometers per second, which is also one of the signs that distinguish secondary and primary civilizations. energy cannon, energy shield, and a speed of 10,000 kilometers per second. As long as these three are achieved, it will be a low-stage third-level civilization. Then there are other technologies, such as higher-strength degenerate armor and stronger detection systems. These are all byproducts of technological development. As for the third-level civilization in the middle stage, or even the third-level civilization in the high stage, there is no record in the Yushan civilization database. But the core also got an important message from it. Aelan civilization is a low-stage, third-level civilization. This made Zhou Quan relieved. The low-stage third-level civilization itself is not without resistance. Based on data analysis and comparison, I got a possible guess. Close black lens bracket. We once destroyed a super warship belonging to the Aoan civilization. The Aoan civilization that produced this warship should be a mid-stage third-level civilization. Close black lens bracket. The difference between the third-level civilization in the middle stage and the third-level civilization in the high stage should be the application of energy bombs. Close black lens bracket. The Feiyu fighter planes that later chased us also belong to the Aoan civilization, but at that time the Aoan civilization should have reached a high stage or even a fourth-level civilization. Close black lens bracket. Due to insufficient data, it is no longer possible to make a more accurate judgment on Aoan civilization. Close black lens bracket. The core analysis is very reasonable, and Zhou Quan also believes that the possibility is very high. This also explains why the Aelan civilization has never used the energy bomb as a big killer. It's not that I don't want to use it, it's that I don't have it. These weapons belong to the intermediate stage third-level civilization, and the scientific research level of the Aelan civilization is not enough. Moreover, the database has stated that the Aelan civilization has arrived. Calculating the time, it will arrive in about 30 days. Since 1.1 is the case, let's play with Aelan civilization. Let's pull the team back first. After fighting for so long, it's time to replenish energy. Remember to put some hydrogen bomb traps on the road. It can be regarded as a gift to the Aelan civilization. A smile appeared on Zhou Quan's lips. Since Aelan civilization is here, he must accept his gift. Even if the technological level of the Aelan civilization exceeds his own, he holds the number 3 star, and the transformed battle star fortress has unlimited energy supply. When it comes to fighting, it's just waiting for work, which is not a waste at all. If his scientific research level can be further improved, he will also become a low-stage third-level civilization. The main base has also reached level 20. At that time, with the detonation rate of 20,000 Earth-class warships every day, we can even counterattack back. Thinking about it this way, the Aelan civilization is really not that scary, and it is fully qualified to fight. Watching the Chinese civilization disappear in the detection system, Yushan civilization breathed a sigh of relief. Unexpectedly, Zhou Quan really left and did not destroy their civilization after taking the data. Unexpectedly, Yan originally wanted to get Zhou Quan's data, but now it would be like this. After this war, the strength of Yushan civilization was greatly damaged and it took at least 100 years to recover. But this time, Yushan civilization learned a painful lesson. I know that my scientific and technological strength is far from enough. After recovering, I must speed up scientific research, improve technology, and become a third-level civilization as soon as possible. This war also brought them a huge amount of data, giving them the possibility of becoming a third-level civilization. War is both a crisis and an opportunity. This is almost the same for Zhou Quan. The core is digesting the huge data of Yushan civilization and integrating it with itself. Find content that suits you and further enhance your scientific research capabilities. And Zhou Quan is also studying the technical information of Yushan civilization and learning from it. He can now understand all kinds of complex and tedious mathematical formulas and physical theorems. Compared to so-called geniuses, Zhou Quan is no worse than 28. Hank can collect thin films under construction at a rapid pace, and the transformation of the new Battle Star Fortress is also progressing in an orderly manner. According to the plan he made with the core, a large number of hydrogen bomb traps were laid out on the way the army retreated from Yushan civilization. This approach is similar to how we dealt with the Patrolman civilization before. But what we have to deal with now is the Aelan civilization, a true third-level civilization. Hydrogen bomb traps may or may not work. But how will you know if you don't try? Hundreds of thousands of hydrogen bombs were deployed along the way, almost all of which were placed on Earth-class battleships. After civilized war has entered the third level, the role of hydrogen bombs has become smaller and smaller. The hydrogen bomb has too many limitations, the launch speed is not enough, and it is easy to be intercepted halfway. Although the power of the explosion is not small, the scope of real destruction is actually not large. In the face of today's weapons, which are basically all energy beams, hydrogen bombs basically cannot fly in front of the opponent. Various reasons make it difficult for a hydrogen bomb to function unless it is a suicide attack. Zhou Quan knows that when energy bombs appear at the intermediate stage of development of level 3 civilization, hydrogen bombs will completely withdraw from the stage of history. Energy bombs are more powerful, explode faster, and cover a wider area. It is a perfect substitute for the hydrogen bomb. There is too much data on the Yushan civilization, which they have accumulated for tens of thousands of years. Some of the content overlaps with the Guardian civilization, and some overlaps with the core's own original data. For this reason, the core has also specially allocated 1% of its computing power to handle this matter. It took 3 days to finally integrate all the technical information. Master, I have found a way to improve the efficiency of nuclear fusion at the same scale. Close black lens bracket. This is great news. Zhou Quan smiled. The improvement in nuclear fusion efficiency represents an improvement in the power system and better energy application efficiency. Both energy cannons and energy shields can benefit. The most important thing is the 4 words, under the same scale. Representative Earth-level battleships can be used directly without changing the structure and size of the battleship. Accelerate the research progress, make up for our last shortcoming, and officially become a level 3 civilization. Navigation speed has indeed become the biggest shortcoming. The speed of 8,000 kilometers per second seems very fast, but it is not enough in front of the alien civilization. It must reach a speed of at least 12,000 kilometers per second, the same as the alien civilization, so that it can be attacked, retreated and defended at close range. It would be best to increase the range of the energy cannon. If they can develop their technology to the same level as the alien civilization, then they will be qualified for dialogue. Alien civilization is not a fool. Facing an opponent who is almost the same as them, they will not risk death. The core has obtained more detailed information about the Endless Alliance, has a deeper understanding of the Endless Alliance, and analyzed many problems, large and small. The Endless Alliance is not monolithic, and there are also internal competitors. According to the laws of the Black Forest of the universe, there are also enemies who are also third-level civilizations watching silently, and the alien civilization does not dare to lose too much strength for itself. This will give your opponent an opportunity to take advantage. Alien civilization once encountered an opponent of comparable strength. The two sides fought for many years and finally ended in a draw. Both parties suffered considerable losses, and later the opponent of the alien civilization was attacked by another civilization. Because the strength was too damaged, they were unable to fight back. As a result, the entire civilization was wiped out. In particular, the alien civilization is now the manager of the 7th Star District, which contains huge interests and boundless resources. Many civilizations are peeping at them, hoping to replace them. Zhou Quan saw some information about the Endless Alliance from the database. It's a cruel world, but it's also very real, and it's in line with the survival logic of civilizations in the universe. Zhou Quan expressed his understanding of this. There is no reason to argue between civilizations, because resources must be fought for. So, we must be strong. Peace can only be given by us, not by asking others to give it. Core did not have similar emotions. In accordance with Zhou Quan's will, he allocated more computing power to the new generation of nuclear fusion technology to speed up research progress. Sure enough, 35 days later, the army of alien civilization arrived at the territory of Yushan civilization. Alien civilization did not expect that Yushan civilization would decline so quickly. I can't even hold on for more than 100 days. After all, according to the data they have, Yushan civilization is considered powerful among many second-level civilizations. Especially the size of the fleet, which maintains at least more than 20 million to 30 million warships, is more terrifying than some third-level civilizations that are not known for their numbers. Even if you use a battleship to pile it up, it can last for a while. The rapid defeat of the Yushan civilization was coupled with the destruction of 100 of its own warships. Chinese civilization has once again been promoted to a higher level. The army of Alan civilization did not go directly to trouble Zhou Quan. Instead, they understood the situation here clearly and repeatedly viewed the video of the battle between the two sides. A lot of information can be seen from the video, including the composition of Chinese civilization's military forces, methods of warfare, and scientific and technological means. After repeated calculations by the computing system, the final result is obtained. Then these results were sent back to the civilization headquarters simultaneously, waiting for the final decision from the civilization's senior officials. This matter has been going on for 10 days, and the final decision from the top management of Hanlin civilization was finally passed on. Alan civilization finally decided to erase Zhou Quan's Chinese civilization. In their eyes, the potential of Chinese civilization is very great. If you give them enough time, it is very possible to override yourself. This is absolutely not allowed. We must take advantage of the fact that Chinese civilization has not yet truly developed and kill. The battleship army of Alan civilization left the territory of Yushan civilization in a mighty manner and rushed towards Zhou Quan's Chinese civilization. Once the entire civilization makes a decision, it moves with lightning speed. This time Alan civilization dispatched 100,000 troops. Except for the flagship, they are all third-level battleships with a length of 3,000 meters. The shape of the flagship is completely different from the battleships of the Alan civilization. If Zhou Quan could see it, he would be able to recognize it at a glance. This is the warship of Alan civilization. The shape is like a big ship, the corners perfectly show the hydrodynamic design, and the length of the hull reaches 10,000 meters. With a length of 10 kilometers, it stands out among the battleships. At their speed, it will take about 80 days to reach star number 3 where Zhou Quan is located. When Alan civilization left Yushan civilization, Zhou Quan already knew about it. He has already deployed a large number of satellites nearby, and these satellites are all in a stealth state, making them difficult to detect without deliberate scanning. Yushan civilization also has its own unique detection technology. From this technology alone, it has reached or even surpassed many third-level civilizations. Naturally, Yushan civilization will not reveal its exclusive technology. Even the Alan civilization was unable to discover the satellite in the invisible state. Zhou Quan saw the army of Alan civilization and understood the size of the opponent. But when he saw the huge ship in the middle of the army, his pupils couldn't help but shrink. This is the warship of the Alan civilization. With a length of 10 kilometers, we not only need to solve the material problem, but also solve the problem of gravity balance and gravity offset. The Alan civilization actually used the warship of the Alan civilization as its flagship. It's really a surprise. Zhou Quan found it a bit funny, but even though it was funny, he also saw a different meaning in it. First of all, it is certain that the technological level of Alan civilization far exceeds that of Alan civilization, otherwise Yongalan civilization would not do this. Secondly, Alan civilization's warships should have energy bombs. In this case, they would be in danger. Even with an unlimited supply of energy and a new type of enhanced energy shield, Zhou Quan still has no confidence that he can block the attack of energy bombs. Based on the destructive power displayed by the previous energy bomb, the new energy shield can withstand it. Close black lens bracket. The core words did not completely reassure Zhou Quan. That was the previous data. The warship that was damaged and fell into the hands of the patrol was no longer known to have been produced many years ago. Its energy bombs are so powerful. Now that so many years have passed, the technology of Aoan civilization has not progressed. It's out of the question. The only thing that can be expected now is that Aoan civilization did not give out energy bombs, or the quantity given was not large. Otherwise, this battle cannot be fought at all. His own fleet has returned, placing hydrogen bombs all along the way, forming minefields. Master, the new nuclear fusion device has been successfully developed, and after experiments, it can be put into actual use. Close black lens bracket. 50 days later. The core finally developed the latest nuclear fusion device. Under the condition that the scale of the nuclear fusion device remains unchanged, the efficiency has increased by 200%. However, in core terms, at the same scale, the efficiency of nuclear fusion has been developed and utilized to its limit. If we want to increase the energy supply, we can only increase the scale of the device. Increasing scale involves a series of issues. The mere size of the Earth-class battleship cannot support it. This road is temporarily blocked, and new ways of obtaining energy are on the agenda. The core has allocated a large amount of computing power to research. The new Battle Star Fortress has finally been completely renovated. There are now a total of 12 Battle Star Fortresses. The energy shield devices above have been replaced with new models, and there are 2 sets of main and deputy sets. The main group is used first. When the main group is hit and destroyed, the subgroup will be used simultaneously. This greatly increases fault tolerance. The improved and optimized protective cover is several times more powerful than before. Energy cannons also benefit from larger scale and increased power. Overall, as long as the new Battle Star Fortress is located near a star that can collect thin films, its combat power will be several times higher than before. At the same time, new nuclear power systems were also put into use. After testing, driven by the new nuclear power system, the speed of the Earth-class warship has reached 13,000 kilometers per second. Just more than the 12,000 kilometers of the third-level battleship of alien civilization. Also because the efficiency of energy supply has been greatly improved, the performance of the energy shield and energy cannon of the Earth-class battleship has also been greatly improved. The strength of the energy shield has been increased by more than 150%, and the maximum range of the bombardment has reached 2.5 million kilometers. The optimal range to exert full power is 1.5 million kilometers. From then on, the Earth-class battleship can truly be called a third-class battleship. Zhou Quan's Chinese civilization has truly become a third-level civilization. Looking at the fiercely charging alien civilization army, Zhou Quan was burning with fighting spirit. They are also level 3 civilizations, who is afraid of whom? However, the core immediately poured cold water on Zhou Quan. Master, after calculation, our winning rate in this battle does not exceed 5%. With such a low winning rate, Zhou Quan thought for a moment that the core calculation was wrong. But think about it, this is impossible. The core calculations must have gone through rigorous verification and cannot make mistakes. Why less than? Zhou Quan was puzzled as to how the core was calculated. A large amount of data appeared in front of me, and there were also videos to support it. At the same time, the core is still explaining. Zhou Quan finally understood that the problem lay with the other party's flagship. Originally, we had 100,000 Earth-level battleships, 12 Battle Star Fortresses, and 100,000 third-level battleships from alien civilization. Our combat power was superior. If calculated based on this combat power, our winning rate reaches 95%. It can almost be said to be a sure win. But as soon as he joined the opponent's flagship, his chances of winning plummeted to less than 5%. In the video, the opponent's flagship is a 10-kilometer-long giant warship manufactured by Aoan civilization. At the rear, there are 9 sets of power injection ports. But now there are only 3 groups doing the work. That is to say, the battleship now only uses 33% of its power. This alone has enabled the Qianhao warship to reach a speed of 12,000 kilometers per second. If the warship is fully powered, according to core estimates, the speed can reach 30,000 kilometers per second. This is just the speed, and the energy generating device on the warship. Zhou Quan cannot see it with the naked eye, but core momentum analyzes the opponent's strength through data. The key is not the radiation emitted, but the materials from which the energy generating device is constructed. Close black lens bracket. It uses the same strong force material as the Feiyu fighter. Materials like the box can withstand greater reaction force. Close black lens bracket. From the side, it is enough to show that the opponent's energy shield is very powerful, far beyond ours, and our weapons should not be able to break it. Close black lens bracket. Coupled with the opponent's speed, even if we just use collision, we can't resist it. Close black lens bracket. There are energy bombs, too. Close black lens bracket. The more core said, the uglier Zhou Quan's face became. The key is that what the core said is correct, and the problem is indeed that they cannot stop this 10-kilometer-long giant warship. After rigorous calculation and analysis, Zhou Quan was helpless. Still being crushed because of technology. The last time I left was because of Feiyu fighter jets, and the technology of Aoan civilization completely crushed me. This time it was still because of Aoan civilization. Aoan civilization showed its muscles unscrupulously towards Zhou Quan. Without a winning rate, Zhou Quan cannot just wait for death to come. The base jetted away with flames, and this time Zhou Quan did not take Aquamarine with him. Just took away 10,000 Earth-level battleships. The target of Aquamarine is too big. Even though it is very small in the universe, it still looks huge compared to the base. For Zhou Quan, as long as the base number is there, it is not that difficult to develop again. As for star number 3, the only mission is to have a good fight with the army of alien civilization. And here, Zhou Quan left the next chess piece, enough for alien civilization to have a good drink. On the third day after Zhou Quan left, the army of alien civilization stepped into a pre-designed hydrogen bomb trap. A large number of hydrogen bombs in a stealth state exploded violently, blasting the alien civilization's legion at once. Because of the need to control the use of energy, alien civilization is advancing and it is impossible to keep the energy shield open all the time. Without the protection of the energy shield, the power of the hell-level hydrogen bomb is enough to cause devastating damage to them. Hundreds of thousands of hydrogen bombs exploded simultaneously in a large starry sky. Countless little suns flashed across the universe, staying only for a few seconds. All that was left were the fragments of a large number of battleships. Alien civilization's 100,000 battleships lost more than 10,000 in this explosion. After becoming a third-level civilization, the alien civilization had long eliminated this backward weapon. In their eyes, level 3 civilizations should use high-end gadgets like energy weapons. And with the protection of the energy shield, the hydrogen bomb cannot hurt you at all. Unexpectedly, Zhou Quan taught them a good lesson this time. A direct reduction of more than 1/10 of the staff is already a huge loss. After resting for 3 days, alien civilization licked its wounds and moved forward again. This time, blue light flows on the battleship, and the energy shield has been opened. But what they don't know is that there will be no hydrogen bomb traps on the next journey, and leaving the energy shield on will only waste energy. Zhou Quan, who was already far away, grinned. He didn't expect the hydrogen bomb trap to be so effective this time. Core, have you found a suitable target? It has been found and the route is being calculated. Close black lens bracket. Oh, already found it. When he left a few days ago, Zhou Quan handed over this matter to the core. Let him find a place suitable for his own development. The core really lived up to expectations. I really found it. Where are you going this time? The core displays a simulation picture. This is a vast starry sky. In the center of the starry sky, there is a huge star. There are 12 planets of different sizes orbiting the star, forming a star system. On the periphery of this star system, there is a huge nebula shrouding it. Beyond the nebula, there is another star that is rotating around this galaxy. The composition of the starry sky is very strange. Although it is located among endless galaxies, it is its own system. It's a galaxy within a galaxy. It's such a strange galaxy, a binary star system, one inside and one outside. This is unnatural. Zhou Quan gets the results instinctively based on his own knowledge. Such a galaxy structure is so unreasonable. At this time, the core magnifies the star system, revealing the nebula. This nebula is very special and seems to integrate the gravity of the star system. Close black lens bracket. Eventually, the gravitational force of the entire stellar system reaches an equal pace, like a whole, causing the outer stars to orbit it. Close black lens bracket. And this galaxy is very hidden and can only be observed at specific times. If you look at it normally, you can only see stars. Close black lens bracket. After the core explanation, Zhou Quan finally understood. The universe is really so big that there are no wonders in it. The 4 basic forces of the universe are gravity, magnetism, strong force, and weak force. Gravity is the most basic and complex force among the 4 fundamental forces. So far, Zhou Quan's technology has not been able to harness gravity. Besides the special structure, what other reasons made you choose this place? I have detected a special energy wave, which is not produced by nuclear fusion at the same time. It has been detected by CIFB that this energy wave is more advanced than nuclear fusion and has a higher unit energy. Close black lens bracket. If we can study it carefully, we may be able to find new ways of supplying energy. Close black lens bracket. The new energy supply method represents higher technology and is also the threshold for entering from the initial stage of third-level civilization to the intermediate stage of third-level civilization. Alien civilization has been looking for it, but has never found it. Without energy, it would be unable to support the progress of other technologies. The alien civilization would always be an initial stage third-level civilization and unable to move forward. All-in civilization has been found and has been applied on the Feiyu fighter jet. The energy displayed by the Feiyu fighter, which is only 3 meters long, is stronger than nuclear fusion. So all-in civilization is getting stronger and stronger. Then go ahead, find a new source of energy, develop with peace of mind for a while, and then come back to beat alien. The route calculation is completed. The distance from the target galaxy is 30 light days, about 770 billion kilometers, and it takes 700 days to sail. Close black lens bracket. What a long distance. Another 700 days, almost 2 years. Zhou Quan expressed his helplessness, saying that he had no choice at all. The base sailed in the starry sky at a speed of 13,000 kilometers per second, constantly advancing along the route calculated by the Corps. The same is true for the 10,000 Earth-class battleships accompanying them. They had all stalled a long time ago and were moving forward entirely relying on inertia. At the same time, the biological parts emit the same frequency fluctuations as the cosmic background radiation, entering a state of invisibility. The entire team was like a ghost in the starry sky, moving silently through the cold darkness. Only the place where Zhou Quan was brightly lit. Zhou Quan is learning knowledge, and time flies by while studying. Dozens of days later, the army of alien civilization finally arrived at star number 3. They saw the army that Zhou Quan had assembled long ago in the Battlestar Fortress that was ready. Alien civilization has suffered losses from Battlestar Fortress and knows that it must not let the opponent get close. Battlestar Fortress has enough firepower to penetrate its own battleships. As long as you keep enough distance, Battlestar Fortress isn't scary. Moreover, one's own weapons can also penetrate the opponent's energy shield, and it is not difficult to even destroy the opponent. But this time they were disappointed. When it had just reached 2.5 million kilometers, the Battlestar Fortress had already begun to rotate. When the two sides were still 2 million kilometers apart, the Battlestar Fortress opened fire fiercely. Along with the Battlestar Fortress, there were 90,000 Earth-level battleships that opened fire. Hundreds of thousands of energy cannons, carrying terrifying energy, rushed into the battleship group of alien civilization. Alien civilization was obviously caught off guard. The warships dodged one after another, but there were still a large number of warships that did not dodge in time and were hit by the energy cannon. Being hit by the energy cannon of the Earth-class battleship, it may have only been damaged rather than directly destroyed. If you were hit by the energy cannon on the Battlestar Fortress, there would be only one word: death. The alien civilization received a strong sniper attack at star number 3. The technological level of the prefecture-level battleships and Battlestar Fortresses left by Zhou Quan is no worse than that of the alien civilization. Even the shooting range has caught up. The same goes for the military strength. Zhou Quan's side has the upper hand. A battle broke out between the two sides here. The so-called Chinese civilization in alien civilization actually only has one person, Zhou Quan, not to mention that Zhou Quan had already slapped his butt and avoided others. The two sides poured out firepower crazily, and the starry sky was densely filled with the light of energy beams. The powerful energy almost shook the starry sky in the universe. The two have similar technological levels and similar combat capabilities, so their losses are not small. Afterwards, the Battlestar Fortress also joined the battle group. After the latest transformation, the Battlestar Fortress has almost developed the initial stage of the third-level civilization technology to the extreme. It is more powerful than the third-level battleships of alien civilization. The addition of 12 battle-star fortresses has greatly increased the damage of Aelan civilization. The Aelan civilization once fought with the battle-star fortress, and initially did not take this bulky guy seriously. As long as the opponent's energy shield is broken, with the texture of the asteroid, it will soon be torn into pieces by the energy cannon. But this time Battlestar Fortress far exceeded their expectations. The energy shield of the Battlestar Fortress became extremely hard, its strength increased several times, and it was impossible to break it with their firepower. On the contrary, the attack of Battlestar Fortress is also more powerful than before, and it can kill its own first-level battleship with one shot. The damage of Aelan civilization increased sharply. Aelan civilization clearly realized that Zhou Quan's technological level had increased again. How long has it taken for Zhou Quan's technological level to increase so much? Hundreds and thousands of years of hard work have come to an end so quickly. This kind of potential is too terrifying to avoid. The battle information of Aelan civilization is being transmitted back to the civilization headquarters simultaneously. The civilization headquarters received corresponding results, and every Aelan person was shocked. From this, they are even less likely to allow Zhou Quan to develop, and must kill him before he has fully grown up. Otherwise, the future of Aelan civilization can be imagined. Orders one after another were sent from the Aelan civilization headquarters to the front line. At this time, Zhou Quan was also paying attention to this battle. Although he does not have quantum communication technology, he does have the Zerg neural network, which is more useful than quantum communication technology. The power of the Battlestar Fortress was expected by Zhou Quan. After rigorous calculations, the core had already come up with the corresponding answer. Now it's just a matter of showing this answer in reality. With the support of unlimited energy, the firepower of the Battlestar Fortress was so powerful that it was almost impossible to fight back against the third-level battleships of the Aelan civilization. 3 hours after the battle began, the war entered an even more intense state. The fighting range between the two sides has been extended to less than 500,000 kilometers. This is already a close-to-hand fight. When fighting at such a close distance, the possibility of dodge by both sides becomes very small, and the probability of being hit exceeds 50%. As a result, injuries are increasing dramatically. The damage to Zhou Quan's Earth-level battleships has exceeded 30,000, while the damage to Aelan civilization has been even worse. The damage to their third-level battleships has exceeded 40,000. Finally, Aelan civilization received the order from the headquarters. The flagship that had been located at the rear, the warship belonging to the Aoan civilization, moved. A violent ion stream was ejected from the rear of the warship, and the terrifying thrust caused the warship to suddenly accelerate extremely fast. In just a few seconds, he went from the back of the battlefield to the front. 50,000 kilometers per second, from standstill to top speed, lap time 0.8 seconds. Close black lens bracket. The core reported a surprising data. From an almost stationary state to an acceleration of 50,000 kilometers per second, the entire process only took 0.8 seconds. This level of technology is simply not what Zhou Quan can currently achieve. My dear, can the people in the warship bear this kind of acceleration? Using reaction force technology, the living bodies in the warship will not feel it. Close black lens bracket. I know, I just said it casually. Of course Zhou Quan knew it, he just said it subconsciously. Reaction force technology is also available on the base, otherwise the sudden acceleration of a person can completely collapse ordinary people. The warship accelerated into the front line, did not stop, and crashed directly into one of the Battlestar fortresses. On the warship, a blue light curtain appeared in the energy shield, and there was a trace of light. The level of the energy shield is very high, and the frequency of high-energy photons has been increased to an extremely high level, which is more than 10 times more powerful than our energy shield per unit energy. Close black lens bracket. 10 times, this concept is clear to Zhou Quan. When the unit energy of high-energy photons is doubled, the strength of the defensive shield can be increased several times. If the unit's energy increases by 10 times, then by any calculation, the opponent's energy shield is dozens or even 100 times stronger than your own. There is no need to calculate specific data, what happened on the front line has already given the answer. Whether it is a battlestar fortress or an Earth-level battleship, anyway, his energy cannon falls on the defense cover of the warship and cannot even stir up a wave. The attack was completely ineffective. In just over 10 seconds, the warship rushed through the battle area between the two sides and crashed directly into a battlestar fortress. Yes, it didn't fire, it hit directly. The 10-kilometer-long hull looked very small when facing the battlestar fortress. But the energy shield makes it appear powerful. The energy shield of the battlestar fortress was overloaded in an instant, and at the same time, a huge hole was knocked out of the battlestar fortress, and then it flew out from the other end. The warships of the Aoan civilization crashed through the battlestar fortress. The structure of the battlestar fortress was destroyed, the asteroid was torn into pieces by the terrible kinetic energy, and the battlestar fortress was shattered in the violent explosion. This was the first battlestar fortress to be destroyed after the war began. I found that Aoan civilization prefers to use collision. It is really a tough civilization. I really want to know what the people of Aoan civilization look like. Do they all have iron heads? Zhou Quan whispered, whether it is Feiyu fighter planes or today's super warships, they are all made by ramming. Crash is the most energy-saving attack method. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket and the most direct and effective. Close black lens bracket. Core replied, this is the answer he got. But Zhou Quan feels that this is also the heaviest blow to the enemy's morale. The significance contained in it is too great: powerful power, stronger protection system, and stronger materials. This is simply flexing muscles. It's a pity that for Zhou Quan, his army has no morale. As the warships of Aoan civilization joined the battlefield, the entire war became no longer suspense. Losing is inevitable, the core has calculated it early. The winning rate is less than 5%. This result is incorrect. It should be said that there is no winning rate at all. Once technological crushing occurs, there are almost no miracles. Just like primitive people, no matter how hard they try, they cannot resist the attack of atomic bombs. Follow the plan. Zhou Quan issued the final order. Open black lens bracket, obey. 5 Close black lens bracket. Neither the battlestar fortress nor the Earth-level battleships can stop the warships of Aoan civilization. At a speed of 50,000 kilometers per second, it is impossible to escape even if you want to. Zhou Quan even suspected that this was not the opponent's full speed. The warship crashed into a battlestar fortress again. A total of 12 battlestar fortresses could not last long under the impact of warships. Zhou Quan's army began to retreat, fighting and retreating, and it looked like it was about to escape. When the Aoan civilization saw this, they immediately began to pursue him. They could not let Zhou Quan go. The Chinese civilization in front of us must be eliminated. Watching the troops retreat, Zhou Quan knew that the core had begun to execute as planned. The only thing that made him feel regretful was that he had to start over after working hard for so long. Damn Aoan civilization, sooner or later I will destroy you. Anger burned in my heart. Since becoming the second-level civilization is 003, I have not provoked anyone, and everyone has come to trouble me. The rough results have been calculated. The strength of the Aoan civilization's warship energy shield is about 42 times that of our local-level warships and 12 times that of the battlestar fortress. Close black lens bracket. With our current technological means, we cannot break its energy shield. Close black lens bracket. This is a disappointing result. The technological level is very different. I don't know if our plan can eliminate each other. Zhou Quan thought silently in his heart, thinking that he would see the results of his crazy plan soon. Battlestar fortresses were destroyed one after another. The warships of Aoan civilization are unstoppable. Zhou Quan's army is retreating rapidly, and the army of Aoan civilization is constantly pursuing. It seems that the defeat of Zhou Quan's Chinese civilization is certain. The morale of Aoan civilization was greatly boosted, and the pursuit became even more frenzied and fierce. In addition to the warring parties, Yushan civilization is also paying attention to this war. They seemed to have seen themselves not long ago, and their own troops were constantly retreating under Zhou Quan's pursuit, retreating steadily. But faintly, they felt something was wrong. Their perspective was given to them by the Aoan civilization. From the limited perspective, they saw an extremely huge blue star. There seemed to be some black spots outside the blue star, but the black spots are too small to be seen clearly through video. Then, they analyzed that the direction of Zhou Quan's retreat was clearly the star. The battle between the two sides took place 50 million kilometers away from star number 3. But as Zhou Quan's army retreated, the two sides got closer and closer to the number 3 star. The top leaders of Yushan civilization suddenly had a horrifying thought. Zhou Quan's army is getting smaller and smaller as the battle continues. There are only less than 30,000 Earth-level battleships left, and there are only 5 battle-star fortresses left, and these 5 are still 5 that have not been modified, and their combat effectiveness is not strong. Alien civilization is pursuing victory and preparing to eliminate Zhou Quan in one fell swoop. At this time, the fighting area between the two sides was less than 20 million kilometers away from the number 3 star. 20 million kilometers is exactly the distance designed by Zhou Quan's plan. This distance is enough, let's start, Zhou Quan said silently, and the Corps had already issued orders simultaneously. Countless black spots appeared outside of star number 3. Each black spot is a dragon-armored warrior, holding a not-too-big hydrogen bomb in their hands. In addition to the dragon-armored warriors, there are thousands of base battleships on the back of the star, as well as a half-broken battle star fortress. This battle star fortress was the one that was crippled in the battle with the Yushan civilization. They were hidden under the light of the star and now activated instantly. Millions of dragon-armored warriors, 1,000 base battleships, and half a battle star fortress rushed into the star without hesitation. Then millions of hydrogen bombs were detonated. Among them, the battle star fortress rushed into the depths of the star with an energy shield running at full power, and exploded the hydrogen bomb. There are millions of hydrogen bombs, except for the small-scale ones held by the dragon warriors. The most powerful ones are all on the battle star fortress. When it detonated, the entire star was immediately detonated. The balance of the star suffered a fatal blow. The entire star suddenly boiled and its operation became extremely chaotic. The entire star expanded several times in an instant, and then shrank suddenly. After repeating this several times, the star began to enter its final state of madness. Countless high-energy substances are sprayed out, like terrifying energy attacks. The intensity of the attack is far greater than that of the energy cannon. In just tens of seconds, tens of millions of kilometers were covered. Both Zhou Quan's warships and Alien Civilization's warships were trapped in them at this time. Countless battleships exploded and destroyed in the material ejected from the star. They wanted to escape, but found that they couldn't escape at all. The chaotic and powerful gravity has firmly grasped them. Explode the stars. This is Zhou Quan's plan. With the mass and volume of star number 3, when it explodes, the range of 30 million kilometers from the star will become a dead end. But Zhou Quan was still not at ease, so he kept attracting them until they were 20 million kilometers away from the number 3 star before detonating it. After the star expands and contracts several times, the real constant explosion begins. The center of the star begins to collapse, and countless materials are concentrated in the center. Under the influence of ultra-high pressure, the mass in the center is getting bigger and bigger. At the same time, the gravity is getting stronger and stronger. Zhou Quan's warships, Alien Civilization's warships, and even Aoan Civilization's warships were unable to withstand this powerful gravitational force and were dragged over. On one side, there is a large eruption of matter like gunfire, and on the other side, the gravity increases sharply. One positive and one negative form a chaotic world like hell. The battleship was torn apart, and the energy shield of the battle star fortress only lasted for less than a second before being torn to pieces, and then the entire fortress was also torn into pieces. The battleships of the alien civilization have fallen into despair. They had no chance of survival. In the chaotic world, only the warships of the Aoan civilization are still barely supporting themselves, and their powerful energy shields are still flashing. But the light and darkness are already uncertain, and we can't hold on for long. It is still only the initial stage of stellar explosion, and this chaotic and hell-like explosion state will last for a long time. Eventually the star's periphery will become a nebula, which is composed of the material it erupted. 2.0 and in the center it will become a white dwarf star, a neutron star, or even a black hole. Calculated by Core, with the mass density of star number 3, the probability of forming a white dwarf is as high as 60%, that of a neutron star is 35%, and the probability of forming a black hole is less than 5%. However, in this process, both Zhou Quan's battleship army and alien civilization's army were finished long ago. Finally, several hours later, the warship of Aoan civilization could no longer hold up and was torn apart by chaotic and powerful forces and turned into pieces. Both sides perished together. The people watching the battle in Yushan civilization were stunned, and they actually detonated the star. The methods of Chinese civilization are really too fierce. And Zhou Quan closed his eyes slightly, as if in silent mourning for this star. How's the data collection going? It has been collected and will be of great help to our research. Close black lens bracket. In the lonely starry sky, the base is sailing at a speed of 13,000 kilometers per second. At this time, 680 days have passed since the explosion of star number 3. The estimated 700-day voyage is coming to an end. For 680 days, the explosive motion of star number 3 continued. That area has completely turned into hell. Because of the large changes in gravity and chaos, the stars around the third star have been affected. The trajectory has also become chaotic and will not recover even for hundreds of years to come. It is normal for planets to collide and devour each other. It can be said that Zhou Quan's hand completely messed up the starry sky within about one light day around the number 3 star. What happened next had nothing to do with Zhou Quan. This guy had already slapped his butt and left. The speed of the base began to slowly decrease, from 13,000 kilometers per second to 10,000 kilometers per second. The accompanying Earth-class battleships also slowed down, flying with hundreds of bases flying. At the same time, 1,000 satellites flew out from the base. The satellite quickly accelerated to a speed of 13,280 kilometers per second, flying towards the target galaxy one step ahead of the base. Here, the outer star of the binary system can already be seen. This is a huge dark red star that seems to have been burning for many years and is reaching the end of its life. Generally speaking, the larger the star's size and mass, the shorter its lifespan. But no matter what, the lifespan of most stars is measured in billions of years. The super red giant star in front of us is a little different. Although it is huge in size, its mass is not large after measurement. It seems that most of the matter has left it, so its lifespan has become very short. Of course, this short time is on the scale of the universe. If nothing happens, it is possible to live for tens of millions or even hundreds of millions of years. This super red giant star is rotating around the galaxy, and the galaxy in it is shrouded in huge nebulae, making it impossible to observe it too clearly. The closer you get here, the more obvious the energy fluctuations mentioned by the core will be. The unit energy of this kind of energy fluctuation far exceeds that of nuclear fusion, and its sustainability and stability are also much better than that of nuclear fusion. If this energy can be applied, the entire technological level can be greatly improved. The level of energy cannon and energy shield will be doubled. It is not difficult to become an intermediate level 3 civilization. But studying energy is not a simple matter. During the more than 600 days of sailing, the core was constantly calculating. During the big explosion of star number 3, it obtained a large amount of data. Gain a deeper understanding of stars. There are also more and more detailed data on energy applications, which will be of great benefit to future energy research. Although the methods of energy acquisition are different, their essence is not much different. As long as you study thoroughly enough, you will know everything quickly and accurately. The satellites have already flown out. They will pass through the nebula a few days earlier than the base, and then they will transmit back detailed information about the interior of the galaxy. At this time, the core also began to measure the source of energy fluctuations. The material thrown out by the star can already be captured here and experiments can be carried out. Master, it is recommended to build a laboratory outside the fourth star to conduct experimental research on new energy. Close black lens bracket. Agree. If there are no big problems inside the galaxy, this will be our new base camp. We can build a line of defense here and form a new defense system. And the satellites that have been released previously will be the best eyes and ears because we bring full credibility. In the more than 600 days since arriving, no less than 1 million satellites have been released along the way. Some satellites are heading to nearby planets, some are heading deeper into the starry sky, and some will stay in the starry sky like comets and meteorites, becoming Zhou Quan's eyes and ears. Now everything is ready, all we need is the east wind. 20 days later, the satellite flew past star number 4 and plunged into the nebula. The nebula is composed of countless meteorites and other materials and surrounds the entire star system. From previous detections, we learned that there is a star in the center of the entire galaxy. Due to the existence of nebulae, the size of the star is unknown. In addition, there are 12 larger planets, which should be planets in the star system. The gravity of the entire star system magically reaches a similar frequency and becomes a whole. As a result, the fourth star outside the galaxy can only orbit the entire galaxy. This star system is among the endless galaxies and has its own unique structure, like a closed world. It is unlike any galaxy Zhou Quan has detected before. And because of such a huge gravitational system, these planets move very fast and do not even have an atmosphere. In this way, except for some special life forms, ordinary intelligent life cannot survive in such a galaxy. However, these are core calculations and judgments, and everything must be subject to actual conditions. One sentence. The universe is vast and full of wonders, which can explain all unknown phenomena. The satellite first detected the material in the nebula. The nebula is mainly composed of small meteorite fragments such as limestone, metallic minerals, silver, gold, and diamonds. Close black lens bracket. The stocks of gold and diamonds are not low. Close black lens bracket. There are also ice cubes, but the proportion is not high. Close black lens bracket. There are ice cubes, indicating that there was water in the galaxy, and even ecology was born. The nebula is so thick that it took the satellite nearly 2 days to fly through it. The satellite finally transmitted back images of the interior of the galaxy. In the center is a star that is not huge in size. After simple calculations, the size of this star is about the same as the Sun in the solar system, and 230 is considered relatively small among stars. But the mass is 1,000 times that of the Sun. Small volume, large mass, high density. That's why the gravitational force is so amazing. The 12 planets in the galaxy are not small in size, but they are all firmly held by the huge gravity of the universe, as are the nebulae. Likewise, all gravity is ruled by it, and it is the emperor of the galaxy. Such a star, if it waits until the end of its life, has a high probability of turning into a black hole, and then swallowing up the entire galaxy to bury itself. Satellites passed through the nebula one after another and flew to all directions of the galaxy. Thousands of satellites will be distributed in every corner of the entire star system to analyze the situation of each planet. 3 more days later, the base was getting closer and closer to the star. So far, the information transmitted back by the satellite is normal, and no signs of life have been found on the 12 planets. As originally estimated, it is unlikely that life could exist under such a gravitational pull of this star. Suddenly, a black shadow flashed across the screen of a satellite. Then, the satellite flashed with sparks. The satellite was destroyed. The core discovered this situation immediately, and the speed of the base number suddenly slowed down. The base number cannot take risks before the situation is understood. What happened? The video footage unfolded in Zhou Quan's eyes. Before the satellite was destroyed, a black shadow appeared. Because there is more than one satellite in the star system, the core quickly calls the perspectives of other satellites to capture. From the perspective of other satellites, you can see a group of black clouds with a little white silver covering the appearing satellite. In just 10 seconds, the satellite was destroyed. Then, something similar came from the perspectives of several satellites. Such objects are completely black with a few silvery white clouds and mist-like objects. They are very numerous in the galaxy and are countless. Even the core cannot calculate the specific number at once. They seem to be floating randomly in the galaxy, but as long as something comes close to them, they will actively build it, wrap up the foreign object, and then devour it. But they don't swallow everything. The satellite was swallowed and spit out shortly after. The core controlled several satellites to build over, captured the satellite that had been swallowed, and then inspected it. The shell still looked intact, but the inside was empty. It seems that they cannot swallow degenerate materials, but the internal circuits and biological parts can be swallowed. Is this thing a living thing? Or is it some kind of special substance? Zhou Quan was not sure for a while. Some special substances in the universe might have characteristics similar to life forms, but they did not belong to the category of life. It should be a living body between a living body and a material body. Close black lens bracket. It's a very difficult sentence. Zhou Quan might not have understood it before, but now he understands it. That's a ghost, or the undead. No, it's not appropriate to call it that. It should be called incorporeal life. I think this is more appropriate. Are there any records of similar life forms in the databases of the Patroller Civilization and Yushan Civilization? The core is already searching the database and will have the answer after a few seconds. There are records of similar life forms in the Yushan Civilization database. Yushan Civilization calls them the Soul Clan. Close black lens bracket. In records, the Soul Clan is divided into many types, at least hundreds of them. Close black lens bracket. The life form composed of substance and energy that we encountered on planet 381 before is one of the Soul Clan. Close black lens bracket. After listening to Core's explanation, the two are quite similar. The breakthrough of his own energy cannon is due to the work of the Soul Clan on planet 381. Their race seems to have a unique talent for the use of energy. Then try to catch it. If you can't catch it, destroy it. Zhou Quan gave a command, and 1,000 ground-level battleships flew out. When passing through the nebula, the Earth-level battleship opened the energy shield. The meteorite hit the energy shield and turned everything into powder in an instant. A few days later, the Earth-level battleship rushed out of the nebula and rushed towards it. There are countless soul races floating densely in the galaxy. Zhou Quan is really curious about how this strange thing between life and matter was formed. When the Earth-level battleship approached, the originally motionless Soul Tribe took action. Many Soul Clans rushed towards the Earth-level battleship, and were instantly vaporized by the energy shield, leaving not even a trace of residue behind. The energy shield can block the Soul Clan, which makes Zhou Quan relieved. With this result, the danger of the Soul Clan is greatly reduced. Then an Earth-class battleship removed the energy shield. This is another experiment. The Soul Clan rushed to the Earth-level battleship. The entire body of the Earth-class battleship is made of degenerate materials, with no gaps in its body. But it still couldn't stop the invasion of the Soul Clan. While the shell was intact, the Soul Tribe invaded the interior of the battleship. Begins to destroy electronic and biological systems. The core uses Earth-class battleships as bait to record information about the Soul Clan. Its composition, attack method, devouring speed, etc. are all recorded. The size of the Soul Clan can reach up to 100 meters after spreading out. Dozens of Soul Clansmen can devour an entire Earth-class battleship in 1 minute. In addition to the energy shield, the energy cannon can also destroy the Soul Clan. With one shot, all the Soul Clan on the route will be wiped out within 1,000,000 kilometers. At present, it seems that the Soul Clan is not powerful, but there are too many of them. In the star system, there are soul races everywhere, which is difficult to estimate. A rough estimate puts the number at more than 1,000 trillion, or even more. After paying the price of 3 Earth-level battleships, the core finally completed all the data of the Soul Clan. The next step is to clean them up and take over the entire galaxy. But with the current number of only 10,000 Earth-class warships, it will take until the Year of the Monkey to clean up the entire galaxy. Zhou Quan thought of using a hydrogen bomb. The core has been tried. The Soul Tribe here is afraid of energy weapons, but they are not afraid of hydrogen bombs. Unless they are at the core of a hydrogen bomb explosion, they will be killed by the huge energy shock. The outer members are still safe and sound. They can even absorb the radiation emitted by the hydrogen bomb and convert it into the energy they need. After absorbing enough energy, the Soul Clan can also split into 2 or even more. A group of hydrogen bombs were thrown down, killing tens of thousands of souls, but tens of thousands of new souls were split, which was not worth the loss. Not only are hydrogen bombs ineffective, physical strikes such as nuclear bombs are also ineffective. The body of the Soul Clan looks like a cloud, without any entity. Quote. Now it seems that we can only use energy cannons to clean it slowly. Quote. First go to each planet to take a look. If it is determined that there is no danger, then build a base and produce warships. The Soul Clan will just clean it up slowly. Now the only thing left is this stupid method. If there are energy bombs, it's easy. Just put one in each area and it will be clean. This is the fifth star reached, and is usually called the fifth star. This galaxy is also known as Star System V. The 12 major planets inside are numbered starting from star number 5. The one closest to the nebula and farthest from the star is planet number 12. The closest to the star is planet 01. The battleship spread out and headed to the major planets. Zhou Quan was waiting for the information to come back from the Earth-class battleship. Gradually, Zhou Quan discovered that there were also a large number of soul races on the planet Denuos. As the battleship moved forward, a large number of soul clans rushed forward, and they were blocked by the energy shield and turned into gas-killing dogs. But similarly, the energy shield also needs to consume a lot of energy areas in the process of killing the soul clan. Dozens and hundreds of soul spirit tribes are nothing, but tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of soul spirit tribes rushing towards them would be quite terrifying. The energy shield keeps vibrating, as if a fierce war is going on. Soon there was a new discovery. The closer the soul clan was to the star, the larger the size and the stronger the power. It also takes more energy to kill them. After more than 10 days of flight, an Earth-level warship ran out of energy when it was about to reach planet 07. The energy that was originally enough to support several months of fighting was consumed in just over 10 days. Moreover, the anti-navigation route is afraid of being occupied by the soul clan drifting over. The Corps simply controlled the battleship to rush towards planet 07 to see what was happening on planet 07. Zhou Quan also watched the battleship that was about to rush into planet 07. Under the strong gravitational influence of star number 5, all planets in the star system have no atmosphere. You can clearly see the situation on the planet. The planet is densely populated by Soul Clan. When the battleship rushed in, it immediately caused a violent reaction from the Soul Clan on planet 07. The overwhelming Soul Clan flew up and lay down towards the battleship. After a few swallows, the battleship was swallowed up in an instant, and the battleship that finally landed was just an empty shell. The battleship hit the planet like a meteorite, causing a violent explosion. But this impact-shaped energy was swallowed up by the Soul Clan on the planet almost instantly, and it did not cause a huge disaster. The Soul Clan of planet 07 is similar in strength to the Soul Clan on the periphery of the planet. Close black lens bracket. Based on the Soul Clan within 1 million kilometers of the nebula as a benchmark, the intensity is set to be 2 for the Soul Clan strength near planet 1112. Close black lens bracket. The strength of planet 11 is 3. Planet number 07 has a planet strength of 7. Close black lens bracket. Based on this data, the strength of the Soul Clan on planet 01 is 13, which is 13 times the original strength. Then the strength of the Soul Clan near the 5th star should reach 14 or exceed 14. As the Soul 270 spirit race becomes more and more powerful, the difficulty of their advancement will also increase exponentially. After core calculations, based on the energy reserves of Earth-class battleships, at least 1 million ships are needed to successfully advance the team to planet 01. It is pushing forward, opening a passage in the starry sky, not cleaning up the Soul Clan in the starry sky. The Corps has put the difficulty in front of Zhou Quan. Whether to go or not is a matter for Zhou Quan to decide. If not, then continue to look for suitable planets and galaxies for development. There are certain risks if you go. After analyzing the pros and cons, Zhou Bu decided to go. Other planets and galaxies are not necessarily easy to find, and there are managers in the endless galaxies. Then there might be another big battle. I must be registered in the Endless Alliance now. Once discovered, I will definitely be besieged. If the Aoan civilization or an equally powerful civilization were to target them, they would have nowhere to escape. The star system number 5 in front of us is very hidden and difficult to detect due to the existence of nebulae. The pros and cons were all laid out clearly. After thinking about it for a few minutes, Zhou Quan made a decision. Go. Take over Planet 12, Seba first, and then slowly advance after you have enough fleets. Accelerate the research on energy bombs. If there are energy bombs, these souls will not be a problem. The army rushed into the 5th star system in a mighty manner. Suddenly, Zhou Quan seemed to have disappeared in the endless galaxy. Just as Zhou Quan thought, Zhou Quan has already registered in the Endless Alliance. Its battleship appearance and some iconic information have been entered into the database of the Endless Alliance. Now Zhou Quan has become a public enemy of the Alliance. Exploding the star, it destroyed the 100,000-strong army of the Alan civilization and a 10-kilometer, or 10,000-meter warship of the Aoan civilization. Chinese civilization cannot be famous even if it is not famous. Earth-level battleships opened their energy shields one after another, passing through the nebula and advancing all the way. The Earth-level warships did not open fire on the Nebula tribe on the road, except for those who rushed towards them. It's not necessary. 5 days later, the army arrived outside planet number 12, and thousands of Earth-class warships surrounded planet number 12. Planet number 12 is not small, as it is about 6 times the size of the Earth. The mass is 3 times that of Earth. A single salvo of 10,000 Earth-class battleships can almost destroy planet 12. Of course it's impossible to do this. This is the planet Zhou Quan wants to use as a base. The core calculates the required energy and controls it precisely. The secondary gun fired, but it was not very powerful. The energy beam fell on the planet, causing violent explosions. At the same time, the most important thing was that it woke up all the Soul tribes on the planet. The Soul clan flew up and rushed towards the battleship. At this time, the battleship began to dive, and the energy shield was connected. If you cannot launch too powerful an attack on the planet, then using an energy shield to eliminate the Soul clan is the best way. And the most important thing is that the Soul clan will come to the door on their own. It is a real moth flying into the flame. Only half a day later, the Soul clan on planet 12 was wiped out. The warships began to fly around the planet to protect the planet. The base quickly released the larva and began to build a base. A level 18 main base can have 1,800 sub-bases. Produce nuclear worms to restore the energy supply of the main base. Produce nuclear fusion devices and form arrays to provide sufficient energy for material energy converters. Produce dragon armor warriors and set up a battleship factory. Almost starting from scratch, all work is carried out quickly under the core arrangements. The advantages of the Zerg are also revealed at this moment. As long as the main base exists and the energy is sufficient, it can recover very quickly. Unlike a mechanical civilization, once it is damaged, it will take a lot of time to restore production. For example, the Patroller civilization and the Yushan civilization did not last hundreds of years and could not be restored to their full strength. Just 20 days later, all 1,800 sub-bases were completed. Not only that, all 100 million nuclear worms have taken shape and are spread all over planet 12. At the same time, a large number of nuclear fusion devices were also built. In addition to supplying energy to the main base, they were also responsible for supplying the battleship factory. The energy supply that had been cut off for nearly 2 years has been restored again, and it will take another 300 days for the main base to reach level 19. During this period, a large number of Soul clans came over and were killed by Earth-level battleships from outside the planet. Finally, everything has stabilized, and then it is time to produce warships, continue scientific research, and improve the level of science and technology. Master, a large number of souls are flying towards planet 12. Close black lens bracket. The core released a video, in which a large number of souls were flying from the starry sky. It should be the energy fluctuations of the nuclear fusion device that attracted them. Close black lens bracket. Zhou Quan slapped his forehead. It was really a secret. I missed it. I should have thought that they can be split by the radiation of hydrogen bombs. The energy fluctuations of nuclear fusion are basically the same as those of hydrogen bombs, and they are milder. It will definitely attract their attention. Can you stop it? There is no problem at the moment, but there are more and more souls coming from other planets, and as time goes by, they will lose their loyalty. The closer to star number 5, the stronger the power of the souls, and the greater the energy required to destroy them. Tens of thousands of warships cannot stop the massive amount of souls. Continue to produce warships, and at the same time build giant energy shields and energy cannons on Star 12. I don't believe that we are fighting positional warfare. Even the Soul tribe with no intelligence can't handle it. Zhou Quan also became ruthless and wanted to turn Planet 12 into a battle star fortress. Planet number 12 is much larger than the battle star fortress. All the previous battle-star fortresses put together are not half as big as Planet 12. If such a large-scale construction is completed, Planet 12 will really become a prickly hedgehog. Fortunately, the Soul Clan's flight speed is not very fast, and it will take some time to reach Planet 12. This gave Zhou Quan time to develop and build. A batch of dragon-armored warriors were manufactured and quickly transformed into free labor. Energy shield devices with a height of 500 meters were manufactured one after another, and were transported and installed by dragon armor warriors. All this is controlled by the core and is very precise, ensuring that there will be no errors or omissions. Planet number 12 is the farthest from star number 5 and is almost a permanently frozen planet. Although it is very close to the fourth star, the temperature of the fourth star is relatively low, and there is a thick layer of nebula between it, so the heat of the star cannot warm it. The texture of the planet is very hard, which is very beneficial for construction and saves the steps of transforming the planet. Each energy tower will be equipped with at least 2 large-scale nuclear fusion reactors to supply energy. At the same time, the energy shield still operates in 2 ways, primary and secondary. When one of the devices has a problem and cannot be used, the other device can take over. In addition to energy shields, ultra-large-scale energy cannons are also densely installed. Zhou Quan really wants to turn Planet 12 into a hedgehog. It should be said that they really plan to use Star 12 as their base and gradually conquer the entire Galaxy 5. While undergoing large-scale construction, the core also allocates a large amount of computing power to conduct research on new energy sources. Star number 4 outside the nebula has become the best research object. Star number 4 is very special. In addition to carrying out normal nuclear fusion activities, it also constantly exudes another kind of energy. This energy breath is more powerful than nuclear fusion. The core research is here. These days, a laboratory has been set up near the fourth star, collecting energy materials and conducting experimental research one after another. I believe the results will be produced soon. By then, it will be able to replace nuclear fusion and become a new source of energy. As long as the problem of energy source is solved, many problems can be solved easily. The Soul Clans rushed over one after another, like moths flying into the flames. The Earth-level battleships continued to fire, killing the Soul Clan that came over. At the same time, 200 Earth-class warships are built every day and take off to participate in the battle. Star 12 is still under construction, and battleships are still needed for defense until the construction is completed. The number of Soul tribes coming over is increasing day by day, and now the warships are fighting every day, firing almost endlessly. At the same time, the energy shield continued to kill a large number of Soul clans. The energy is consumed at a terrifying speed. Once the energy is used up, the Earth-level battleship will come back to replenish it and continue fighting. The Earth-level battleships that were originally designed to be able to fight continuously for more than a month can only last about 7 days in their current condition. And this time is still shortening. It is estimated that after some time, the continuous combat time of Earth-class battleships may become 5 days, 3 days, or even shorter. The current production speed of warships cannot keep up with the speed of the Soul Clan. Nuclear fusion has a fatal attraction for the Soul Clan. The Soul Clan is a combination of a large amount of energy and a small amount of matter, a strange life that lives between reality and virtuality. Most of them have no intelligence, only instinct. Searching for energy, constantly devouring, dividing, and evolving are their instincts. Whether it is the nuclear fusion device on the Earth-class battleship or the nuclear fusion device on the 12th planet, it has a fatal attraction for them and can make them come over without their lives. Perhaps in the eyes of the Soul Clan, evolution is above all else, and life is not important. Zhou Quan thought deeply and got an answer that he recognized. More and more Soul Clans are coming over, and energy consumption is increasing sharply. The Dragon Armor warriors worked overtime to transform planet number 12. Nuclear fusion devices were manufactured and put into operation, providing sufficient energy. At this time, outside the nebula, surrounding the number 4 star, with the laboratory as the axis, the star-collecting film began to be constructed. Zhou Quan sent 100,000 dragon-armored warriors to take charge of this task. Because there are few people, the scale is relatively small. After all, we must first stabilize Planet 12 before we can do anything else. There are more and more soul tribes outside Planet 12, and the pressure on the battleships is also increasing. Only 1 month has passed, and now the battleship needs to come back every 3 days to replenish energy. And this trend is accelerating. If this continues, the amount of energy I replenish each time may not last for even 1 day. However, after a month of overtime work, the transformation project of Planet 12 has been mostly completed. The most important thing is that just now, 4 giant energy towers with a height of 30,000 meters were built. The 4 energy towers are located in 4 different directions on the planet. They can directly transmit energy to warships outside the planet through wireless transmission. Although there will be some energy loss during the process, the efficiency is higher than when the battleship returns to the ground to replenish it. This is also done to buy more time. The base took off. Under the strong advice of the core, the base left planet number 12, left the galaxy through the nebula, and flew to star number 4. In the core calculations, there is a low probability that Planet 12 will not be able to defend it. Although this possibility is only 5%, we cannot take risks. So the base number left first. Anyway, it doesn't make much difference whether the base number is there or not. Next to the number 4 star, a huge film of 1 million square kilometers has been formed and began to supply energy to the laboratory and the base. The 100,000 dragon-armored warriors began to build a second film next to it. The laboratory's research on new energy sources has also reached a critical moment. Point 0. The experiment was done countless times, thousands of times, and finally we got some clues. Another 40 days passed, and the construction of the 5th star system in Planet 12 was finally almost completed. The energy shield is also about to achieve global penetration. More than 1 million energy cannons are spread across the planet. At the same time, there are more than 3 million nuclear fusion devices providing energy for energy shields and energy cannons. At this time, the Earth-class battleships were almost reaching their limit, and the Earth-class battleships in the air could no longer support them. Even with wireless transmission of energy supply, their energy shield is shaky. The defense line is getting weaker and weaker. An hour ago, several battleships were invaded by the Soul Clan due to lack of energy supply. At the last moment, under the control of the core, the battleship flew outwards and could not fall onto the planet and cause damage to the planet. In the past 100 days, I don't know how many Soul Spirit clans were killed, but there seem to be a lot of Soul Spirit clans. The only people coming over now are 9, 10, and 11, the Soul clans of these 3 planets. Judging from the core detection, the Soul clans from the 3 planets 6, 7, and 8 are also coming over. Their numbers are staggering, and they are even more powerful. After persisting for another 12 hours, the last energy shield generating device on the planet was finally installed, and the energy shield was penetrated. The core issued an order instantly, and the battleships evacuated outwards like a tide. The goal was to leave the star system and pass through the nebula. On the planet, the energy shield was operating simultaneously, and a blue light curtain enveloped planet number 12. At this time, planet number 12 transformed into a real warrior. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.